I'm going to move on to environment and planning, and it's composite 3, and it's being proposed by Alderman McGuinness, MLA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I wish to propose composite 3. I think that we in Ireland, both north and south, have a wonderful potential for developing renewable energy. I think if we look at our natural resources, sea, wind and grass, we have a unique combination of those 3 elements which allow us to develop an enormous renewable energy industry. The fact is that we have not harnessed that potential. The fact is that in government today, in the north of Ireland, the Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Investment notionally supports the development of renewable energy, but does little about it. Yes, there's an incentive scheme, which is very important and which reflects the scheme in Britain. Yes, we have targets which are suitably ambitious, but you do not get the sense of there being a champion within the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Investment. And indeed, we in the SDLP have to rely on our Minister for the Environment to push in this direction because of the lethargy that exists within government. I believe that we should continue an aggressive course of action, pushing government in this direction. The potential is enormous. The benefits are enormous. We in Ireland, north and south, could become net exporters of energy. It won't happen tomorrow. It won't happen in 10 years' time. But maybe in 20 or 25 years, we could in fact be net exporters of energy. At this moment in time in the north of Ireland, we depend on fossil fuel to 90%. Our imports of fossil fuel are enormous. We cannot sustain this economy at that rate because of the sheer weight of cost. And we must move, dare I say, energetically, to a new approach, to a new way of harnessing those resources. And there have been initiatives. And there is, of course, the work of John Swinney, the Scottish Financial Secretary, under the British Irish Council, and they are developing strong proposals on this particular issue. We need, in government, a department, or indeed a body within government, that will have no other purpose save to develop renewable energy, save to encourage our indigenous industry, to encourage our farmers, to encourage those that have been enterprising enough to get into the renewable energy sector. I don't think that all is lost. I'm not saying here that we should despair. But what I am saying is that we need that extra support and that extra encouragement, which I believe is absent at this moment in time. But this is an all-Ireland project. It isn't something that can be confined to the north of Ireland or to the south. We have to combine our resources and have to combine our genius, both north and south, in order to exploit this sector to its maximum. And therefore, there should be, in our view, an all-Ireland approach in relation to renewable energy, and it is an area which I believe will provide enormous potential in terms of jobs and in terms of lowering costs. So, Chairman, I am delighted to propose this composite number 3, and I look forward to conference supporting this composite. Thank you very much indeed.
Call on Michael Dehan to second it.
Hello, Chair, Conference. I work for a firm of consulting engineers and energy consultants, so I just want you to know that. We work throughout the island of Ireland, and in the Republic of Ireland they have one body looking after the energy strategy. It's the Sustainable Energy Ireland Authority, and it's composed of energy consultants and management professionals, and they advise the Irish government and they run programmes for them. And in Northern Ireland there's no joined up body. It's DETI do a bit, Department of Environment do a bit, DAR do a bit. There's no joined up thinking, and I would like us to move that way. And there are huge opportunities there, as Alban said. They're bigger than people will realise. I was at a conference in Dublin there a couple of years ago in the RDS, and it was a European conference, and the Europeans are looking to Ireland and Scotland to supply their energy in the future, and the SDLP are always a party of vision. Well, here's a vision for you now. And the European delegates were pointing out that the best wind resource and wave resource in Europe is off the west coast of Ireland and the coast of Scotland. And if we build a supergrid and wave machines and offshore wind turbines, we can supply energy to Berlin during the winter when we have a huge excess, and it'll displace oil and gas. And in fact, Ireland could actually be run totally on renewable electricity, the whole island. That is the vision that's there. So Ireland could become the Arab state of 2050. That is the vision that's out there, and it's there for the taking. But what you have to do to make that happen, you have to be forward thinking, you have to get the grids in place now, and a lot of people are working on that. There's European funding available. Now, on a smaller level, that's the big strategy level, but on a smaller level, the SEAI authority down south, we're employed with them at the moment, and all public sector bodies have to reduce their energy by 35% by 2020. So all their energy bills, electricity, oil, gas, water, all have to be measured every year, and they have to supply that information to the Sustainable Energy Ireland Authority, and they will send consultants out who will help reduce their energy bills to achieve these targets. So on a domestic level, they're talking about, instead of what we're doing here, put a bit of insulation in, throw a few double glazed windows in here or there, they're talking about deep retrofit. And that is a program where you take a house and you get it to a certain energy level. In other words, you could be reducing people's energy bills by as much as £300 to £500 a year for small houses. And those savings will increase year by year, because if electricity and oil prices go up, because they're using less, their net savings are increasing. And there was a European retrofit program in Germany, and they found that for every £1 million spent, over 20 jobs were created. So there's an answer to the construction industry. And I'll just end with one observation that people might be amazed. Germany is noted for cars. You have Mercedes, Volkswagen, Audi, Opel, At the present time, there are more people in Germany employed making wind turbines than manufacturing motor cars. So don't tell me it's not the way of the future. Thank you very much.
Sure, well, this will be short. I don't think there's much more to say after our two previous speakers. They're both very well researched in what they've talked about there. Renewables is an economic potential opportunity for the North and indeed the islands in total. We do have natural resources, wind, wave, and of course our tidal resource too. And look at projects such as CGen in the Strangford Lough area. That's a project that's generating electricity now for 600 homes. That's fantastic. And now we've got the first wind project for the southeast coast of the sea. The thing that I would like to see is us move towards a model of bringing in social inclusion in renewables. That is, an example is Fintry in Scotland, where instead of putting up 13 wind turbines out in the country, they put up 14 wind turbines. And the money is generated from the 14th is put back into the local village. They're now getting projects done that benefits them all. So I believe that's something that we should be looking at here too. Letting communities benefit from the renewables that they're getting in their back door. That's something I'd like to see in the southeast coast. You talked about anaerobic digestion for farmers. There's diversification that can happen, and if we could maybe look at trying to get grants involved there too. The one thing that I would say on this motion is maybe the fourth point down about the single body. Today there's about 7 bodies offering energy efficiency grants. There's about 30 different grants out there. The people on the street don't know where to go to get these grants because of the diversification of it. There should be one body out there. You know, and another thing that we talked about, and Alban was very good in the assembly floor in this here, was the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal, all the political parties, and Sinn Féin and DP in particular, talked about the Green New Deal, and there's nothing happening. It's a potential to create up to 2,000 jobs here and actually affect people's real lives. What does that mean? That means insulating the whole entire house, adding more energy efficiency boilers and things like that into the homes, and saving people money. Lift people out of the fuel poverty trap and change the whole society that we have here. The other thing about renewables is, renewables may not be the end goal for everything. We're not going to have 100% renewables. It's maybe an aspiration. There will always be a need for an energy mix. And something we should also be looking at in the future here is energy from waste. We have a waste problem out there and we have to identify it. And the rest of Europe is now looking at using waste to form new energy opportunities too. So I just want to commend this motion and hope that we can support this motion in its entirety and move forward to a better future. Thanks.
Okay, can we put that to the floor? Those in agreement? Those against? Okay, it's been carried. We're just doing chairs, just that we'll cut this section and go on straight to economy. Okay? 2.